I am going to introduce and welcome into the fray now Conservative MP Tobias Ellwood. Tobias, thank you very much. Were you caught by surprise today?
No, not at all. I mean, I try and look at these things more strategically. When you look at the number of the elections that are taking place across the world, two of the biggest ones are in Britain and the United States. We cannot go to the polls at the same time. To do so would encourage opposition, competitors, our adversaries, to take advantage of us being distracted. And I'm sure conversations took place between number 10 and Washington to ensure that we perhaps went early. We could have gone late in December, but that obviously wouldn't have been possible because obviously Trump's election with Biden was going to happen on that fixed date. That's why I think we've ended up with July.
What do you make of the way that he did it today in the pouring rain with the megaphone playing music along the side of him? It's not a good look, Tobias.
No, it's unfortunate, but the battle commences. You know, the rumours today were everywhere, but the king has now been informed. The announcement's been made outside number 10. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. You know, many of us have been knowing this is going to be happening in the next month. So you can't say it's without a surprise. Oh, my goodness, there's going to be an election. We should all be prepared for this. And not taking away, it will be the toughest election that I've fought. It's been a turbulent period in British politics. In some cases, would have tested any occupant at number 10. But that starting gun has been fired. And actually, the backdrop that we now see ourselves in, with inflation falling to 2%, you know, growth better than in the continent and so forth, business confidence returning, we've got much play for. If anything, we just got to sort ourselves out. We've got to show a sense of purpose, a sense of vigor, a sense of unity that we actually want to do this. Bearing in mind that all manifestos will now be scrutinized, because you were just touching on there just before. Labour has really got away with it for some time because we've hogged the headlines for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So we're going to have those leadership debates as well. It's going to be interesting, but it's up to us to make the case. And in most cases, you know, this is Clinton's got it right. It's the economy that still counts. The economy so important. If we can show that we're, you know, proper, responsible custodians of the economy, we have a fair chance of doing well.
How much of this, Tobias, relies on Rwanda working? How much of this relies on those flights taking off in that first few days? He's got 4 days, really, in July to get a plane off the ground.
I think that's one aspect. Everybody's pushed this up to be totemic. You know, that's one element for which some people find it very, very important indeed. I stress again, most people are more concerned about their wallets, about their bank accounts, about looking after their families, of getting through the cost of living crisis. And what we've seen is manage that. We've moved into far calmer fiscal waters. Politically, we're into calmer political waters as well. And the other aspect of this, which you and I have discussed many times, our world's getting more dangerous, not less. Who's best to lead us, to be able to protect British interests, to advance our defence posture, to make sure that our economy, that's so globally exposed, is actually protected? These are the big questions that I think.
But look, how do you go after Keir Starmer? You know, are you guys going to go on the front foot a bit here? In the last couple of weeks, I'll keep banging on about this, but literally in the last week, you've had the gender stuff from Keir Starmer, which you could easily sell as well. If you vote for Labour, yeah, it means more blokes in women's changing rooms. That doesn't go down well. We know that from the SNP. You could easily sell what's going on in Israel at the moment. Labour in the pocket of the pro-Palestine marches, are they? Is that how you go at Keir Starmer? What do you do?
Well, that is one approach. I don't believe that just telling people what's wrong with the other side is going to win you. That's populism, okay? That's opportunism. That doesn't show that you got the responsibility of where you take Britain. All it does is say what Labour would do badly. Well, we can figure that out anyway. What we need to do is actually show where we're going, how we're going to lead the country. And I stress again that given where we are economically now, we need to look at ourselves and show that we have the passion, the discipline, the unity, that sense of purpose, that vigour to stay in number 10. I'm afraid that sense of purpose has been suboptimal. Let's be honest about that. So if we want to narrow the polls, you know, if we want to get that towards a hung parliament or win, or indeed, you know, lose well, let alone lose badly, all those variations are actually up to us.
And one thing that we're going to be talking about very shortly, we're going to hear from him as well, is Nigel Farage is deciding apparently and announcing tomorrow at 11 a.m. whether or not he's going to run. How much of a concern is Reform UK to you?
Well, Nigel Farage should ask himself whether he wants a Labour government or a Conservative government. It's as simple as that. And if he wants a Labour government, then step up. So, push reform, because all they're going to do is deny people deny the support for the Conservatives. And in many marginal seats, that will see the pendulum tilt towards Labour, and then you get a Labour government. Is that really what Nigel Farage wants?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Tobias, thank you very, very much. That's Tobias Ellwood, Conservative MP.